Hello and welcome to another episode. We are your hosts. I'm Sean Calhoun
And I'm Christina Calhoun.
of Pretty Home Academy. Here we're teaching you how to be the best real estate agent you could possibly be, how to make more money, how to do everything you need to do and build a real business in real estate. Now, today specifically, we're going to be talking about how to deliver bad news. Now, we know a lot of topics are uh, more exciting, like how to generate leads. But if you can figure out certain things, it's going to be great for you. But before we get into that, because Christine's going to expound on that, how can people get in touch with us if they want more information?
Well, you can go to our website. It's prettyhomeacademy.com. And we have lots of training videos, and you can get in contact with us through there. Or right here, you can get in contact with us on Facebook,
Yep.
Sean Christina Calhoun.
Send a private message or on YouTube. On YouTube, we actually have some other videos that are not going to be anywhere else. So we do have some videos on Facebook, and we have some exclusive on our website, and we have some exclusive on our YouTube page. So check us out. You'll find the topic you want. But delivering bad news. Let's get down to it. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is you found out some information that nobody's going to be happy about. So what do? Do you stop answering phone calls?
Ghosts.
You look for a place to hide. Right? We've all done that from time to time. Because the truth is, in this industry, sometimes...
I ain't answering that. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it doesn't go well. And it could be a situation where everybody's been waiting for an update and you don't have any news, or
bad
you
news.
got bad news.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the best way that we found in order to deliver bad news. And if you understand this key concept, it's really going to give you an unfair advantage over another agent who
is ghosting everybody,
isn't answering. Yep.
And not only that, if you look at what this is going to do for you, it's going to deliver an amazing customer experience, which is going to get you repeat business and more money. You actually can take a bad situation and turn it into something beautiful. You want to find out? Let's do it.
All right. So the first point has to do with timing. So what do you mean, Sean? What do you mean by timing?
Okay. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say you had a customer and they put in an offer on a property, right? And they may have put in several offers on several properties and not got any accepted. Okay, that happens sometimes. Or maybe they got a couple accepted and then they didn't move forward, and whatever the case is. At this point, they put in an offer. They've done many offers, and now the last offer wasn't accepted. Now if I tell them this could possibly just knock the wind out of their sails. You don't want to tell them this, but you have to deliver this news. What do you do? Well, as far as timing goes, there's a couple things to consider. So when you reach out to them, something like that, there's a great book that you can read. It's by Brian Tracy. Maybe in the show notes, we'll leave a link to it. It's called Eat That Frog. And basically, it's kind of a gross thought, but it's like, hey, if you ate a frog in the morning, that's like the worst thing you could do. Like everything in your day would be better. So basically, what it's saying is take care of that thing first as far as timing. So what you want to do is you want to take care of it first. Make that one of the first, after your new business, lead generation, after you've done all of that, when it comes to your follow-up, make that the first follow-up call that you're making that day. Call them and let them know that.
And then it has to do with the way you approach it also.
Right. So before we and that's exactly it. That's our second point because we have 2 points, timing and the way we approach it. But before that, there's also some other scenarios to consider. Now, if you talk to that person and you talk to them and they are whipped, they are already down and they are already beat, and you've had a conversation with them, that might not be the time to deliver it. You might want to give them a call and give them, uh, you know, and give them the news later. So you have to, I mean, even though you've made that call, you've spoken with them. If they ask you about it, you're going to deliver it. But you might, if they're already down, you might want to just call them and cheer them up or just listen to them. Sometimes you just have to listen. And that's going to actually help deliver a good experience for them. Now, there are a lot of other situations. We can't go through all of them, but let's go into some of them, okay? Where it might seem like bad news, but it may not be bad news. So if you're working with a seller, and let's just say the appraisal comes in low, okay? They want an X amount, the home appraised for a lower amount, okay? So now I have to deliver this bad news that their home isn't worth what the offer was. That could be looked at as bad news. However, the timing of it, when you give that news to them, you know, you want to make sure that, again, that you just make that one of the first things you do so that you're not scared, so that you're not hiding, so that you're not ghosting them, so that they can have confidence in you and what you have to say. Now, let's go into how to do it a little bit more too, and then we're going to connect everything up together. So I have this news. How do I actually deliver the news? What do I say?
You want to use what's called the sandwich method.
Mm.
So you got two pieces of bread and then you got the meat in the middle, right? The meat is the bad news. So you want to sandwich the bad news around some other positive features. Not that you have good news, but focusing in on something positive right before and right after the bad news.
And if you do have good news, drop that too. So
Yeah.
give me an example of that. How could you do that? Give me just an example, and from maybe a story from experience.
So, going back to the offer not being accepted, we had this happen recently, and one good way to approach it is to look and see if there's anything else in the market similar, so that it's like, hey, you put in a really strong offer on this one. They really liked your offer, but unfortunately they did not accept it. But I found another property that might suit your family's needs.
That's right.
So you're kind of redirecting it, like, okay, this one didn't get accepted, but it's not like there aren't any other houses out there.
That's right. That's right. And so this actually, like Christina said, this happened. So we had the exact same thing happen. We put in a bunch of offers on some properties. They were hot. These were beautiful homes, colonials, the home that everybody wants to buy, right? Looks like Home Alone. And the next thing another, your offer wasn't accepted. So what we did was we actually called the listing agent and we said, hey, do you have any other listings coming to market? Because that's normally, I mean, I'm a listing agent. I'm working to get more listings. So I probably have some more. And if that's what they do, they probably do too. Ask. Okay, so we asked, do you have any? Yeah, I do have another one, but it's not on the market yet. It's not ready yet. I said, listen, we just put in a solid offer. I know that you want to sell that property. You can have a built-in client right here. Like, we're ready. I sent a pre-approval. We didn't even know the house. They gave us the address. We were able to show that home. But before we showed it, we had to deliver that bad news. Just like Christina said, hey, we got good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? Let them decide. Now they're asking you for the news. Well, give me the bad news first. Okay. The bad news is your offer wasn't accepted. The good news is there's another home that I think you'll like even more. Would you like to see it? We actually are going to see it exclusively before it hits the market. Now, we can't put in an offer until it hits the market, but they are willing to let us take a look at it today. Really? Yeah. We took a look at it. They live in their home now. So we turned bad news into good news. So try to, like Christina said, try to look for some good news, some bad news, and then some more good news to put that sandwich in it. And the last good news was going to see the house, setting an appointment. So they were really happy to do that. So same thing on the seller side, you can do the exact same thing. So let's just say the appraisal, the home came in lower. That happens. Or sometimes with buyers, there's a million situations. Like, if you do real estate, you know how much bad news there is. Like Christina said, you have to look for something positive to give with them. You can't hide. And then sometimes there's not a lot of positive news. I mean, this home came in lower, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to get as much money. So, what is the positive? Well, okay, we got good news and bad news. All right, well, what do you want to hear first? Well, let me hear the good news. The good news is the buyers, they want to move forward with purchasing your home. The bad news is the appraisal came in $5,000 under the offer value. Is this still going to net you enough in the end to help accomplish your goals? So now you want to bring up, as far as the sandwich, is their goals. Their goals are the good things, the reason why they even want to sell their home. Now, it may align with their goals or it may not. And you have a fiduciary duty to your client to help them with their goals. So if it doesn't align, you need to stand behind them with that. This doesn't align with your goals. It may be time for us to find a new buyer for your home. What do you think? Or if it does align with their goals, listen, it would have been nice to get that extra 5Gs. $5,000 extra, that would have been beautiful. We did our utmost, but obviously, the appraiser is not, seeing the value, or if it was an incompetent appraiser. And I don't mean incompetent like they're dumb, like they're not smart. Appraisers, it's just like anything. You have some who are better and some who are maybe just really busy. I don't know if you know this, but if you're a real estate agent, you should know that you can challenge appraisals also. Okay. If you have a legitimate reason to challenge it, you can challenge it. Period. So just know that also. It's just a little extra tip in there. But the sandwich approach, do not run and hide. If you do this, you're going to see the experience that you deliver to your customer is going to get you referrals and repeat business. Guess what? Before you go, I want you to make sure you go to Pretty Home Academy. We have some training, business planning, events that are on there. And again, like Christina said, we have other live trainings that we've recorded and so much more for you. We want you to build your business and enjoy it, to have the money and freedom that you really deserve.
Thanks for watching. Please tune in next week.
All right. See you next time.
Bye bye.